each time I went was more magical than the time before. Before we leave, we must review what we have learned about Mr. Walt Disney. Does anyone remember something I taught you? Yes, Jeffrey?
He was born in Illinois, right?
That's right. Great listeners. Walter Elias Disney was born in Hermosa, Illinois in 1901, but spent most of his childhood in Marksville, Missouri. He went to high school at McKinley High School, where he studied drawing and photography. He then went on to the Chicago Art Institute to continue his studies. That's all we know for now, but I'm sure there's much more to learn. Let's board the bus and discover what started it all in the happiest place on earth.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past. And here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world. Thank you.
Welcome to Disneyland. We are so happy you're here with us today. My name is Bridget, and I will be your tour guide for the day. This is my friend Jolie, who will be joining us for just a few minutes. I am so excited to take you on the journey of who Walt Disney was and the legacy he left us with.
It all started when Walt took a job making commercials. This is where he found his passion of bringing his drawings to life through animation. After some experimentation, he decided to start his own animation business and created Laugh-O-Grams. They were a hit, but unfortunately his company went bankrupt. Walt learned how to be a leader by overcoming these obstacles and moving to Hollywood with his brother Roy to start over. Together they, along with Iwerks, started Disney Brothers Studios. They made the characters Oswald and Lucky the Rabbit, but once again found misfortune as these characters were stolen from them. Oh my next tour will start any minute. I better run. You kids will be in great hands with Bridget.
Now that we know how Walt got into the animation business, let's head out to our first stop. Be on the lookout, kids. We're off to find Mickey Mouse. I just can't seem to find that mouse anywhere. Well, I am a tour guide, meaning I'm no, so I guess I can tell you about him myself. After his characters were stolen, Walt was determined to never again make a mistake like this. He spent time creating a new character called Mickey Mouse, and the Disney Brothers studio used this character in 3 new cartoons. Branching away from silent film, they created Steamboat Willie, which incorporated sound, special music, and even starred Walt as the voice of Mickey himself. It was released in 1928 and was a huge hit. Because of its success, Disney hired a team of animators to create even more Mickey films. Disney showed great leadership as he worked to incorporate the latest technologies into his animation. Well, hi-ho, we're off to our next exhibit.
Hi-ho, it comes from where we go.
Oh, I know that whistle. Hey, you look like you're on your floor. Why don't I tell you a little bit about myself? Walt dreamt of creating a full-length movie cartoon in full color, as well as adding music. He knew it would be very time-consuming and costly, but he decided to take the risk. Walt showed great leadership as he took a step out on a limb and went for his dreams. 3 years later, in 1937, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was released and turned out to be well worth the risk. Critics loved this new innovation, and theaters were packed full. Everyone wanted to come see me and my friends. Oh, speaking of my friends, I better find them before they get into trouble. See you later.
Hey, don't forget this. Well, kids, bippity-boppity-boo, let's go learn something new.
The doula makes the hula bibbidi bop. Play together, and what have you got? Bibbidi boppity.
So, kids, during this time, America was struggling as a nation. They were going through what we know as the Great Depression. But Walt was able to bring joy to the depressed people. They found an escape from the trouble in the world when they watched Disney films. Hey, wait just a minute. You look like you know a lot about Disney. Would you share with us?
Well, I would love to share with you. Walt always dreamed of building an amusement park that connected with his characters. After a few years of raising money, he was able to purchase 185 acres of land and started to build this huge dream. Disneyland opened in 1955 and was a huge hit for tourists. It was even given the nickname, the happiest place on earth.
Now, Joel, you have a comment?
That's so cool. This tour is so, I don't even have words to describe it.
I know.
It's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious.
Ah, yes, here we are now. Miss Mary should be there. Oh, look, here she is.
Well, hello there, children. How splendid that you're here. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what Walt did in the 1960s. By this time, Walt Disney had made himself an empire, and under his leadership, had created something magical. But even though he had all this, he still dreamt of creating something more. He then bought 27,000 acres of land near Orlando, Florida, to create a second magic kingdom. Walt Disney World was in the making. Well, I'm off to go do a show, but just remember,
In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun.
Now, as Miss Mary told us, Walt Disney World was in the making. But unfortunately, Walt was never able to see this dream fulfilled. Mr. Disney became sick with lung cancer and passed away in 1966 at the young age of 65. But that didn't mean the magic stopped. Hey, let's stop by this construction worker and see how the legacy of Disney continued after his death.
well, hi, kids. Despite Walt's death, Roy was determined to finish the park and was able to open it by 1971. Not only did Roy finish the park, but he also continued to work on the movies. The company pulled together under the structure Walt had built and continued to carry on his legacy. Each year here at Disney, we continue to create projects and implement the latest technology, which means job security. Speaking of which, I better get back to work. But just remember, we built this place so you could be our guests.
And wonderful guests we are. Now, boys, this next stop is just for you. We're off to find a king. Shh, kids, be very quiet and don't touch anything. Technically, I am not supposed to have you back. This is the Festival of the Lion King, one of the greatest shows here at Disneyland. Oh, I know we're not supposed to be back here, but
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
Hakuna Matata?
Ain't no passing craze. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's a problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. Around here, our motto is Hakuna Matata. We don't sweat the little things. Besides, this is just a rehearsal. Because of Walt's breakthrough in animation and live-action film, we're able to have great movies like The Lion King that continue to be loved by millions. Walt created the company while living, but after his death, his empire only continues to grow. Without the work he did, my job and millions of others would have never been created. Oh look, here's our stage manager. We gotta get back to work.
Thank you for your time. Now, boys and girls, I'm sure your legs are getting very tired, but do not be discouraged, for we're almost there. Ah, kids, here we are, Cinderella's castle. Isn't it just wonderful?
Well, hi there, kids. I hope you had a great time on your tour. Let's board the bus and you can tell me all about your day at Disney.
Goodbye, kids.
Walt Disney, innovator,
Dreamer,
believer, a man who changed the world.
he promoted the American way of life.
He brought joy to a depressed nation, and he set high standards for leaders to come.
Walt Disney's legacy lives beyond the stories we tell.
This one leader, the most recognized and beloved businessman of the 20th century, brought us the happiest place on earth.
Children born decades after his passing still recognize this iconic figure and love his creations. Walt Disney's legacy will live for generations to come.
Close your eyes. Dream a little. Remember who your favorite Disney character was growing up. Let the legacy of Walt Disney continue on in your own hearts, as it has for millions before.
If you can dream it,